I'm here at Barwon Heads. I've got Brad Pearson, the breaker, with me, and we're just going to have a bit of a snapshot. Obviously, the product of what the owners will see in a minute with the horses, trotting around, etc.
Yep.
Out of the paddock, never had a saddle on them, never been ridden. What's happened in the 28 days leading up to today?
Yeah, look, in the last 4 weeks or so, we sort of start off the first week is just getting the gear on them, getting their confidence, desensitisation, and the mouthing process, getting the gear on the walker, teaching them to give to pressure and flex, and then they go on to do some driving from there. In that first week, they'll have a lead off the pony, possibly 2 leads off the pony, just depending how well they cope or how well they do not cope, sort of thing.
Yeah.
From there, anywhere from 7 to 10 days after getting here, they'll generally be looking at having their first ride, all going well. First rides in the round yard, after a little bit of desensitisation work, generally just in the head stall as well. Just get them relaxed, travelling forward for me. And the day after that, they'll get ridden in the bridle. All going well, they'll go out of the round yard if they're coping well enough for a wander around the trees. From there, they do about 4 or 5 days of trotting and cantering out in the open on their own around the track, a bit of arena work, and then we'll start putting them in company. They'll go with the lead pony the first time from there, and if they're going well enough from there, they'll start pairing up with another horse that's a bit more forward than them and help cart them along from there. So they'll have all had a bit of an introduction to the barriers as well. They all begin walking through the barriers in their first or second day here. And by the 3rd or 4th ride, they'll be ridden through the barriers. A lot of them have been up to our actual barriers on the track and had a lead in and stand up in there just to get them relaxed and show them what it's about.
Yep.
So yeah, look, in the next week or so, they'll probably have a trot out of the barriers too and start learning what they're about now.
I noticed too, we've got the big saddles and then we've got the saddle pads, which are more accustomed to sort of the race day gear. That's
yeah, for
transition
sure.
too with
Yeah,
that?
definitely. Look, the stock saddles, we just put them on for a bit of security. Twofold, like if we've got the stock saddle on them, that you're pretty safe on them. You can give them their head, you're not having to be on their mouth and get them relaxed, get them travelling and just let them be. Then once they're travelling nice and forward, they're not going green and travelling in a straight line, we'll put the track work saddle on them, the pad on them, and the first couple of days they sort of might feel your weight shift a bit on them, a bit more, feel your leg down their sides and things like that and have a little reaction, but then from there it's all pretty smooth sailing,
Beautiful. We'll watch the vision now, and then obviously we've probably got about 3 weeks left. You mentioned that they'll be introduced to the Geelong racetrack.
Yep.
You got the gates, and you also got is
the
it
13th Beach just around the corner.
Yeah,
look, the tides look pretty good next week, so I'm hoping to do a few loads down. So all going well, all these girls that you've got with us at the moment, they'll head down there at some stage next week. And a lot of them wouldn't surprise me if they're on course by next Saturday or the following Tuesday. Like I said, at some stage next week they'll have a trot out of the barriers, just nice and steady to a gradual introduction to it. We don't want to phase them too much.
Yep.
And the week after that, probably we'll be looking at their final sort of week with us. They'll probably have a little pop out of the barriers, just a little kiss away to get into stride, and a few more days in on course. And yeah, look, they should know what they're doing then, and all going well, be ready to head off for a bit of a well-earned break.
Beautiful. I notice it's a relaxed environment, but there's enough happening to tune them in, sort of thing.
Yeah, definitely. Look, we've sort of got the best of both worlds here. That's one thing that I have noticed since we started up 5 years ago. We've sort of gone from doing 10 horses at a time to quite a few horses, and for that they're getting more pressure put on them in a good way. They're getting introduced to a racecourse environment without being in on course. There's a lot happening, a lot of horses coming and going everywhere, and it's just helping them get ready to take that next step when they go on course or go to the races, go to the trials and that. So,
beautiful.
Yeah.
All right, we'll have a look at the vision now, and then we'll come back with a scorecard for the owner's filly. And look, appreciate all your efforts, Brad, and again, thanks for helping us out with these fillies.
No problems, Pete. Cheers, mate.
Right, we've just seen Dangellica go around. Obviously, they go on the Sydney way. We did touch up, we go Sydney and Melbourne way earlier. The variation, how's she coming along as a whole?
Look, she's coming along nicely, Pete. Her first couple of rides, she was a little bit tense and cold back. She never did anything wrong, but just took a little while to relax underneath me. But as you can see from the footage now, she's really relaxing well into her work, travelling nice and true in a frame. Yeah, look, I'm really quite happy with her.
Very much like Dad, I noticed.
Yeah, look, from what you're telling me, he certainly seems to stamp them anyway. We've seen that in a few of the fillies you've got here with us. Yeah.
Beautiful. So her scorecard's got ticks on it at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. No, she's pleased me. You know, she keeps taking the next step, which is all you can ask from them. They keep improving, and she's showing good improvement each day. You know, so really happy with her. Like we touched on before, she'll get down the beach next week, and it'd really surprise me if we don't have her in on course by the end of next week as well. But no, really happy with her, mate.
Beautiful. Watching that vision, Brad's got the dark cap on and in company with another ATB filly. Thanks, Brad.
Cheers, mate.